every time I go deer hunting, I just love where they live. It's so beautiful up there, and it's where I feel just close to being to God, and to also be able to hunt with my husband that I love so much. Brandon was my guide to help steer me along, and that was really special because when I first met Brandon, it was years ago on a brown bear hunt in Alaska, and we spent 8 days spiked out on top of a mountain looking for a big brown bear, and my husband was with me, and we had a wonderful time, and it was a great, exhilarating experience, and I harvested a big, beautiful brown bear, and I knew that I wanted to hunt with him again someday. I felt like he could totally be my kid. If I ever had a boy, it would have been just like him. He loves outdoors, hunting, horseback, just being a good person, hard worker, and a genuine great human being.
It obviously takes great habitat to raise lots of mule deer and to support a healthy population of mule deer. But like right here in central Idaho, compared to like maybe like, you know, Arizona, Mexico, Utah, places that get really dry, those deer are more dependent on water. Like a drought might affect them drastically. And here, probably the biggest factor that affects our deer herds and how healthy our deer are the winters. You know, if we have mild winters, not a lot of snow, you know, when they can paw through the snow enough to get to their feed and it doesn't just drag on, then they're going to do great. That's the biggest thing. We're not so much worried about rainfall in the summer or the spring. It's really just how healthy they are coming out of the winter so that they can produce those fawns, and the fawn crop can have a high survival rate, and the bucks can get mature, and the does. That's the biggest factor here that contributes to the success of the deer. It's also really fun to just watch them chasing does and nose them around and just lip curling. I mean, that's the special part about November.
Smelling their butts.
Yeah.
Definitely a guy thing.
Honey.
I was just going with your subject, honey.
I, as a child, grew up hunting mule deer, and they're my favorite species that always stuck with me. I believe they are the iconic species of the West, embedded deep in Western hunting heritage. It's getting increasingly harder to harvest trophy class mule deer, older age class mule deer. There's a lot of pressure on them. The opportunities are becoming less and less. The mule deer probably need our help in the conservation, and Carrie and I work at that. We do donate and try to help the mule deer across the West. They represent what hunting is about. We just love to chase mule deer in good country with good people.
So this is kind of a special hunt. It's late season, we're in November, the bucks are rutting, and it's pretty rare, no matter where you're at in the western United States, to have a late season mule deer hunt. A lot of times, you know, you got some snow, these colder temperatures get the bucks moving, they're chasing does, they're coming out into kind of the more winter range where they're more visible, the deer are on their feet more, it's colder, so they have to eat more, plus they're chasing each other around. So we're gonna see a lot of deer, lots of does, and we're gonna have to look through a lot of bucks to find what we're looking for. We're kind of looking for a special buck, not just any buck, because this is kind of a special hunt. So we're kind of looking for, you know, an older, mature buck, you know, trophy quality. We're looking for something bigger and something older and something we can be proud to take home.
How big an area do we have?
So we probably have, it's almost all public land, but we probably have about a 40 mile, maybe 50 mile stretch of kind of a river corridor that we're going to be hunting back and forth, and lots of little tributaries that we can run up. The deer are kind of coming out of the high country, they're rutting now, they're kind of getting into their wintering ground. Basically, we're just going to be kind of covering ground as efficiently as we can, hitting all the good spots morning and right after daylight and right before dark, and just not a huge migration of the deer. Like where we're at, they're basically just kind of coming, like it's not like they're coming hundreds of miles in here. They're kind of coming from the really high country, you know, from like the over 10,000 feet, kind of where they're summering, into the 6,000 to 7,000 feet elevation, where they're going to rut. And then as the winter goes on, they'll drop a little bit lower elevation. But they are migrating into their winter ground, basically.
And we're still high, and obviously, as we're seeing this morning, a bunch of them, and you could tell that they're obviously with the does, and
Yep.
it's cool just to watch.
Yeah, I would say they're probably, it might not be peak rut, but it's probably not far away. Like we're probably in the next week or so, they're going to be rutting hard and then probably start tapering off after that.
So the chances of seeing something big is possible.
Yes, the chances are good.
As we were looking around, we did see a lot of does and some small bucks, and we were moving around in the area. And as it was getting close to getting dark, we went around this corner, and Brandon said, "There's some does, and let's look because I feel like I see a buck." So we immediately got our spotting scope out, and they said, "Oh yeah, Carrie, you need to look at this buck." And sure enough, I looked at it and I said, "That's a beautiful buck. Yes, let's definitely try for this buck." We had to make a plan to kind of sneak up and figure out how we could get close but not spook them. So we just kind of hurried along and went up this embankment. Immediately when I put my scope up, I could tell, oh yeah, that's the big buck. And asked my husband what the yardage was, and he said 450, so I confirmed 450. I was starting to just do my breathing and practicing hold my breath, keep calm, thank God for the one perfect shot and steadiness. And I said to them, "Are you ready?" And they said yes, so they had eyes on him, and I made the shot.
Okay, now he's clear. Okay, everybody's ready. Good deal. Did he go down?
He's going down right now.
Yep, he's down.
You know, it was a super old buck, heavy, mature, is exactly what we're looking for. And Carrie sealed the deal. She made a great shot. The buck went right down. It was an awesome hunt. It unfolded perfectly. And it's another great memory for us to all have for years to come.
I was very blessed. The deer just went right down, and I was so excited. And it was a little snow, so it was a little slippery, so you had to keep going and hike up there. And I knew that it was heavy. I knew it had, like some little cheaters that I could see in my scope, and I knew it was a big 4x4, but when I got up to it, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a little bigger than I really anticipated it. I love it when they grow, when you get closer. The one thing is I feel very blessed that I've harvested some big mature animals, mule deer, in my life, and it still just makes me so thankful, and I get so excited and feel so blessed and to have that opportunity to harvest these old mature mule deer that I know have bred and have lived a long life in the high country. And I just still feel like it's the first one. I just get really excited and just grateful. Thank you, God, for the one perfect shot. Thank you, God, for this beautiful animal, and for us all being together and embracing one another and just being out in God's beautiful mountain country. We're truly blessed.
We are.
And it was a triumph of a day.
Yes, it was.
That was the word, triumph.
It's been a good week, and this is even better.
It's been a great, great week.